A dreamscape. Welcome to 428 Shibuya Scramble. Let me get closer to the mic. Welcome to 428. Ian starts off the comments right. He says, "Let me super chat, you poser." I don't know if I can. I don't think I have the ability. I think you need 1,000 subs to super chat.
Yeah, you need 1,000. We're just not that popular.
Popular. I wanna be popular. Alright, so I think we're gonna hop right into this. This is 428 Shibuya Scramble. Let me tell you a little. Well, I would, but I don't know any. I know literally nothing about this game. So we're gonna go into it blind and we're gonna learn together. So I think we're just gonna hop right into it.
It's not on a pencil.
If you guys know anything about this game, we'll start off no spoilies. But I know literally nothing about this game. I don't know what it's about. I don't know what it is.
Yo, Retro, you got Cash App? That's how you can donate to us.
No, I don't want donations. We don't stream enough to deserve donations.
Oh, I thought this was a non-fiction game.
By Pikachu.
I'm gonna turn this like way down. There should be captions. I just don't want it to pick up on the mic.
That's fair. Yeah. So, I think this is set in Japan. Shibuya sounds like a Japan. I almost said Japanese. A Japanese thing. It's doing the anime thing where it does the credits first. Do you guys know if this is Japan? Does it look like Japan?
Yeah.
Are those writings Japanese? Oh, there's a soccer field on the freaking top of the building? That's dangerous.
Yeah, there was like a game that was like that had like a soccer field, like
they're playing right now,
or like a racetrack or something like that.
That flag, that's definitely Japanese. I can tell because of how Japanese it is. And it said "Made in Japan" on it.
You think Shibuya is a shopping district in Tokyo?
Who said that?
Ian.
Okay. I mean, sure. I know there's a lot of shopping districts in Japan, so...
Google it.
Don't Google it.
Oh, it says Cebu.
You mispronounced it.
Probably.
See, that's the theme song. That's what we're listening to now. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We do not deserve your loyalty.
Come with me to Shibuya District.
I think you started off strong, but I think it was... I think it could have been more anime. Come with me, and our hearts will fly on the horizon.
You know, you literally just started singing Pure Imagination.
Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Yeah, you're right. Alright, it's in Japanese, I don't understand it at all. Middle-aged man with a ski mask took several employees hostage in the office in Shinjuku before barricading himself inside.
That's not good.
3 hours have passed.
Let this man out. Yo, the graphics are tight.
It's live action.
Yeah, these graphics.
It's a guy named Kitajima. Suspect his prior dealings with another company in the building. It's Scarecrow. I've been deceived, Alpha. Authorities believe the motivation is...
The keyboard for a kanji computer must be really big.
I know somebody who's from China, and she was typing in Chinese characters, and she showed me, and it's weird. I can't figure it out, but it's not really that big. But she used program. It, like, the word builds on top of itself.
Ian wants you to sing the opening, like, a Bond theme song.
I mean, I could, but the game's starting. If you had asked earlier, maybe.
Shibuya's story is yours to tell.
So, guys, we just wanted this to be a chill stream. Just come in and talk to us. Okay. As you play through the game, various mechanics will be explained. In 428, you follow the stories of multiple protagonists at once. Your decisions impact their experience as you read the story. What does the day hold in store? Their fate is in your hands. Hopefully, you can see them all through to the end. To start, you have two characters, Shinya Kano and Achi Endo.
They're all gonna die, just like in Dying Light.
Dude, if that's Achi over there, that person is so cool. I can't even tell anything about him, but let's begin by checking out Kano's story.
Okay. Oh no.
Yeah, that person's cool. This guy's a businessman and he sucks.
Kano.
When I was a kid, I probably would have pronounced that Kano. Dude, do you think that's how Kano's name is actually pronounced?
Just let out a long, soulful Shibuya.
Shibuya! Just 2 more minutes to go. Shinya Kano scowling at this slow creep with a second hand.
I feel that.
The time was 9:58 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Furrows of consternation creased his forehead. He wasn't nervous, but he knew better than to expect everything to go smoothly. Keeping a level head was proving rather difficult. There was no room for failure. Lives were on the line here.
Bum bum.
Dun 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 dun. He eyed his surroundings.
That man's going bald.
Was the perp really gonna show up? When? Where would he be coming from? How would he make his approach?
Ian says, hell yeah, I love books.
The Shibuya Scramble was as packed as ever. Is that what that intersection is called? A throng of people crossing this way and that, blissfully unaware.
It looks to me like Times Square.
Of the dozens of detectives hidden in its midst. We know you can tell they're detectives because they're touching their ear. All right, another minute and a half.
Only detectives and Secret Service do that.
I paid $60 for this picture book ass game. Kano glanced down at his watch yet again. A mere 30 seconds had passed. Now watch pot never boils, Kano. Detective Kano had been with the enforcement arm of Shibuya's criminal affairs section for a year now, but he'd never been a part of an operation this big before. He eyed a young woman standing beside his overhead. She was small enough to get lost in the crowd, and she carried a nondescript attaché case.
Is she like? I just imagine it like Eldritch Horror.
Hitomi Osawa, age 19. I'm gonna butcher these names just so you guys know. I'll try to get as close as possible, but I'm not a weeb, so.
We paid $60 Australian.
Yeah. The attaché case in her hand contained a full 50 million yen in cash.
Or $60 in Australian.
I think 50 million is 500,000.
Sounds all right.
Or 50,000. Something like that. Yesterday, her twin sister Maria had been kidnapped.
Why are you playing a game with like twin fucking strife in it?
I don't know.
I don't like this.
Like I said, I don't know nothing about this game. This was the ransom payment. The culprit had called Hitomi last night at home, referring to her by name and telling her to wait by the statue of Hachiko in Shibuya. It was almost time, but nothing. Kano was staring fixedly at the second hand on his watch when a homeless man sitting on the sidewalk murmured just loud enough for him to hear.
Hey, you got any money?
Come on, Kano. Quit looking at your watch so much. What if the kidnapper sees you? Kano tried to look nonchalant as he lifted his eyes, but the scruffy character continued. You're too nervous. Just relax already. You're the one acting suspicious, Sasayama. Kano frowned. Why would some homeless guy be talking to me? Yuji Sasayama was the senior officer in the Shibuya Precinct's Criminal Affairs Division, 5 years older than Kano. Some words and phrases in the text appear blue.
That's not much bluer than...
I don't see it.
It's Shibuya Precinct. It's in blue.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, yeah.
Is it really?
On our screen, it's bluer, yeah.
These are called tips. Press square to underline the tip, then press X. This will let you read some extra info. 428 specific. These are marked with a ching and a 428 respectively. Official name is Shibuya Central Precinct, responsible for the safety of approximately 200,000 people in 32 neighborhoods, including Uhara, blah blah blah. Yeah, all of those.
Oh, no, try it.
Uhara, Uguisudanicho, Udagawacho, Ebisu, Ebisu Nishi, Ebusu Minami, Oyamocho, Kami Yamacho, Kamehameha. Alright.
I was thinking that you were gonna start going like Bing Bong Wing Wong.
Why would I ever do that?
It's like please do not go any farther than Kamehameha.
He always went a little overboard on the disguises. He claimed it was all part of the job, but word around the station was he just liked playing dress up. Hey pal, spare some change? Sasayama lurched to his feet and shoveled in closer to Kano. Hey, knock that off. Fittingly, the part Sasayama reeked pretty badly. Fittingly for the part. Well, ain't so suspicious now, huh? He clung to Kano with mock camaraderie, despite the younger man's attempts to pull away. Come on, Sasayama, cut it out! Sasayama's blith... Is it blith or blithe?
You know, that's one of those, like, readers...
You're right.
Like, words...
His blithe confidence rattled Kano's nerves.
The reader's words? That's one of them reading book words.
Yeah. Of course, there was good reason for that confidence. This was Kano and Sasayama's jurisdiction. I noticed that one. A particular region over which... Oh, I know what a jurisdiction is. Jesus. But they were positioned a good distance from where the handoff was to take place.
I don't know what...
The statue of Hachiko. Sometimes two or more tips will appear on the screen. Press repeatedly changing which... Okay.
How am I going to know how to play the game?
Bronze statue of a dog, erected in 1934. The dog was famous for loyally waiting for his absent master, just like that really sad Futurama episode.
Spoilers.
HQ refers to Metropolitan Police Department. Kano and his partner were just there to provide backup if the kidnapper attempted to flee. Look, just try to relax. We'll be fine. Sasayama gave him a wink. A moment later, the radio squawked in Kano's ear. Alright, everyone, it's time. Keep your eyes open. The voice coming through the earpiece was Koji Kuze, the HQ's operations director. Yeah, he directs the operation, got it. Until last year, he'd been Shibuya's precinct head detective and Kano's supervisor. We don't know when a perp is going to make contact. Don't let your guard down.
No, dude, give them voices.
Sorry.
Yeah, you gotta give him a gravelly voice. That's exactly how I would have voiced him.
Kuze's low, gravelly voice echoed in Kano's ear.
We don't know when the perp is gonna make contact.
Don't let your guard down.
Okay, I wasn't gonna go with that.
You don't sound too worried, Kuze. Kano winced at Sasayama's words. How could the man be so nonchalant? The appointed time had come and gone. Something should be happening. Wah! Kano smacked himself in the thigh to release a little tension. The sound was louder than he intended. Though the suit hid his muscular physique, it did a little to dampen the noise. He needed to stay focused. He might be called into action at any moment. The department had...
just a blur.
Yeah. He handled abduction cases accordingly to a certain standard investigation procedure. Was it an attempt to extort money, or was the motive something personal? The answer to that question determined how they deal with the criminal. And based on the investigation team's initial findings this time around, I couldn't see the word. They probably were dealing with a professional kidnapper. Weren't. Sorry.
Do you know how to read?
Still, in all likelihood, it was someone with quite a long rap sheet. So I didn't realize this game was so much reading. Probably someone who knew the family, but so far they had few leads on who might bear such a grudge. With the situation so unclear, the plan was to apprehend whoever came to make the handoff on site. If the culprit ran with the money, there'd be no guarantee of the hostage's well-being. Still nothing, Sasayama muttered. There he is! He's here! Shing!
It's me.
Kuze broke in, his voice spiking into an excited chirp.
Hit the...
Kuze's particular vocal quirk. Whenever he gets overly flustered, excited, or panicked, he slips into a childish register, prone to babbling and pitching his voice. Subject is young male in his 20s! Wearing a bandana and orange hoodie. I couldn't do it for more than that one line. Kuze, normally calm and stoic, was now squawking like an excited child. That only happened when he got particularly worked up. Kano and Sasayama steeled themselves. He's just handing out menus. I can see the subject now. A 20-something male nonchalantly approached Tomi to talk to her. Alright, people, be ready to grab this guy. Kuze was stationed in front of the mobile command center not far from the intersection, keeping tabs on the situation via video surveillance and the camera team. The young man started speaking enthusiastically to Hitomi. The detective watched uncertain.
Hitomi shotgunned the camera for no particular reason.
The situation wasn't entirely clear. He needed to get a better look.
It's the same thing, yeah.
The situation still wasn't entirely clear. He needed to get a better look at things. The newcomer had a bundle of letter-sized papers which he showed to Hitomi as he went on talking. He tried to hand her one of the papers, but she pointedly ignored him. Undeterred, the man kept trying to voice it off on her. Hitomi refused to respond, becoming as motionless as of Chico behind her, until finally the man gave up and walked away.
Should have shot. Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, we definitely should have shot him.
Shoot first, ask questions never.
Guess it wasn't him. Kind of felt the tension of the moment linger in his spine. Guy must have been hitting on her, Sami muttered. Succeeding. Okay, I know what hitting on people is. I mean, I never do it, but I mean, she is pretty cute and all. He had a point, though. Of course, something in Sasayama's voice made Kano brace himself. She got nothing on my me-chan. Bum 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 bum. Dun 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 dun. Oh, never mind. Mi-chan was Sasayama's wife. They'd gotten married just last month. Yeah, I married my Nintendo. Let me tell you, Kano, married life is the best. You gotta hurry up and give it a try for yourself.
Hey, Meta. Yeah, there's definitely a creeper vibe. Look at this guy behind.
This was Sasayama's favorite topic lately, and Kano was getting more and more fed up with it. Sasayama, come on, just knock it off, okay? The phrase is becoming a common refrain of his since the apartment partnered them. Fine, let's talk about your girlfriend then. Huh? Now, you can't be serious.
My body pillow?
Sasayama leaned in close again. What's she like? We are not having this conversation, Kano muttered, looking away. See, I read it and then it said Kano muttered. I can't take my reading back, alright? Aw, come on. Sasayama set his hand on Kano's chest, still playing the homeless troublemaker. Show me your phone. Let me see your lock screen. Huh? Sasayama pawed for the phone. You've got to pick your girlfriend on your lock screen, yeah? I do not. But he did. It was scary how on the mark Sasayama's instincts were. Hey, cut it out. We're in the middle of an investigation. I am investigating. Sasayama chuckled as he plucked the phone from Kano's pocket.
Kano, your girlfriend.
Whoa. She's a dog. His face scrunched up with astonishment as he looked at the lock screen. The heck is this?
A flip phone?
It's not. Ain't that Masami Nagahama? A national star, tends to play the heroine on national morning soap operas or in the national historical dramas. Her songs have been a series of national hits, and she even slated to host the 9-year national singing competition program. Everything about her is national. Kano realized he had to bite the bullet. No, that's my girlfriend. Her name is Rumi, and she's... Sasayama cut him off. You're telling me that this ain't Masami Nagahama, the famous actress. Because this right here is Masami Nagahama.
It's like if you had Brad Pitt on your as your lock screen.
Right.
It's like, that's my
girlfriend, Bradina.
Patty Britt.
You old sly dog, trying to make it look like you're dating Masami Nagahama. I'm not. I mean, I guess Rumi does kind of look like her. Sasayama let out a huff. For real? You really think I'm gonna fall for that? There's nothing to fall for, I swear. Sasayama scowled, unconvinced.
The only thing I'm falling for is Mahami Nagayama.
Alright, why don't you marry her? Kano stammered, but he had no answer. The truth was, he could have happily married her already. The only problem was, she didn't have a head above her mouth. But there were obstacles that needed to be overcome, like her lack of cranium. Alright, playtime's over. Let's focus on the job. Sasayama handed back Kano's phone and turned his gaze back to Hitomi. Kano let out a quick, uneasy sigh.
Dude, you got that F900i? That just came out today.
Yeah.
Look at the screen resolution.
Yeah, it's for my burner. Sasayama had been trying to relieve a bit of tension. Maybe he should be great.
Ian thinks this is a K-drama.
I guess it would be J-drama. Press up to go back and reread the sentences you played through to scroll through the next test. Read down, rewinding, blah, blah, blah. Press X will read the current page. Okay. By now, several minutes had passed since the guy with the papers had gone away. He peered at Hitomi. The strain on her face was visible. In addition to the weight of the attaché case itself, the 5,000, 10,000 yen bills.
5,000 yen, 6 kilos.
Yeah. Her slender arms must be giving out. Must be getting tired. Still, she refused to set the case down. She wasn't taking any chances with her sister's life. The kidnapping case had begun the day before at around 7 p.m. Flashback. This is MPD Dispatch. The Shibuya precinct is reporting a missing person believed to be an abduction. In Japanese law, the act of indirectly luring or deceiving someone into the control of a third party is known as kidnapping.
What?
Using forcible threats or violence to achieve the same result is known as abduction. I guess that makes sense. Subject is Maria Osawa, 19-year-old student at Midoriyama Academy, last seen at the LL Diner near campus. And that's how we know it's fiction, because they would never call something the LL Diner.
Do you think they sell LL bean soup? That was really funny.
A man was allegedly seen forcing her into the car nearby. All officers in the vicinity report to the scene at once. Kano and Sasayama had been working on a burglary case in Jingumai's, 5th district when they got the call. The two arrived at LL Diner at 7:15 p.m. At roughly the same time, several other officers showed up to secure the area, blocking off the entry to the nearby roadways and monitoring the surrounding establishments. Inside the restaurant, Kano and Sasayama were met by the girl who reported the kidnapping. It was the victim's twin sister, Hitomi. Could you tell us about when Maria was taken, starting from the very beginning? Kano said, keeping his voice low. My sister and I were supposed to go to a party together today. Hitomi was trembling, her voice hoarse, but I messed up the time. I showed up right at 7, an hour later than I was supposed to. So Maria had gone alone to the party, a mixer for locals and exchange students. Hitomi, arriving late, had showed up just in time to glance out through the restaurant window and see her sister getting shoved into a car. She described the vehicle as a blue station wagon of Japanese make. Why would something like this happen to her? Hitomi had held back tears, but she was shaking all over. This game's a lot of reading. I had no idea it was so much reading. Did you get a look at the kidnapper? Yes, it was middle-aged. He was middle-aged.
Why didn't you do any, research?
I don't know. I thought it was going to be different, to be honest.
You want to play something else?
No. Leland Palmer is another eyewitness. He identified himself as a lecturer at Hitomi and Maria's school. I saw it too. It's like Hitomi says. I heard Hitomi cry out, and so I went to look to the window, and his Japanese was halting as if he hadn't been in the country for long. And I think that maybe the kidnapper was working alone. Leland explained that he'd seen the man shove Maria into the back seat, then clamber into the driver's seat. If he had accomplished, wouldn't he have been driving? Neither Hitomi nor Leland had gotten a look at the suspect's face. Kano was interviewing others who had been on the scene, looking for potential witnesses, when his phone rang. It was Yoshi Kajiwara, one of the senior detectives. We've set up a task force for the investigation. Go back to the station once you have a handle on the situation here. I just want to get into the game. I feel like I'm not in the game yet.
That's so true. It's like even if it's like a choose your own adventure game, like we haven't made any choices yet.
Right.
And how far are we into the game?
Barely half an hour had passed between the time the kidnapping was reported and the time the task force began. When Kano and Sasayama got back to the precinct station, Kuze had already arrived from HQ. He was informing them the response team had been formed to investigate the victim's home. Kano could feel a peculiar tension in the air. Unfamiliar MPD detectives scurried to and fro from the Shibuya office. He pulled one of them aside to get a quick update. An hour now had passed since the kidnapping. There had been one new development. The perpetrator had made a threatening phone call to the victim's home. He said the following: "Tomorrow, 10 a.m., by Hachiko in Shibuya. Have the sister Hitomi bring 50 million yen. If not, the girl's life is forfeit." This guy's eating a banana. There's no time for bananas.
He's so casual.
Kajiwara from the precinct was put on the response team along with the detectives from elsewhere who had special training in abduction cases. Normally, a local precinct detective wouldn't have gone undercover in a victim's home. Kuze, however, had decided that having a knowledgeable local was crucial and had sent Kajiwara along. The detective disguised himself as delivery people and movers to make their way inside without arousing suspicion, arriving there at 8:30. The response team had come prepared to run a trace of the kidnappers' contact with the families a second time, but there were no further calls. What's the consensus so far, guys?
I just asked chat, does this game suck or what? Ian says, I vote yes, bring back LA Noire.
I don't have LA. I do, but I had to up to where I left off.
Yeah, LA Noire
10 years ago.
Yeah. That was a long ass time ago. That was when you bought a PS3 so you could play The Last of Us.
Yeah.
That was around that time.
Yeah. Kano checked his watch again. 20 minutes had now passed since the time designated for the ransom handoff. The kidnapper had yet to appear. Crap, you think we might have spooked him? He wondered aloud. Hey, stay calm. Sasayama scanned the passing throng. He's just playing with us. Why'd this guy even pick this place? Kano voiced a question he'd been asking himself ever since he'd heard the kidnapper's demands. Sasayama shrugged. Figure he must want to blend in with the crowd, nab the money and disappear before anyone knows he's there, would be my guess. In that case, why not pick Shinjuku or Ginza? The big crowd didn't just benefit the kidnapper, after all. It's also allowed the police to use a sea of people to conceal their own operation. That's true. Right now, there's 50 detectives stationed within 50-meter radius of Hitomi stood. The kidnappers would be taking a major risk if this plan was to nab the ransom money and run. That's what bothered Kano. A criminal with half a brain would know better than to do a handoff in front of Hachiko. It's a Kansas City shuffle. It's a Shibuya shuffle. You look left and they move right. They're gonna use this opportunity where all these coppers are like hanging out around here. That means they're not in other places, and he's gonna use that opportunity to kill the head of two major crime families.
This is literally called Shibuya Shuffle.
Yeah. It's a Shibuya Shuffle.
F.
You're overthinking things, pal. Sasayama grumbled. No, I'm not. Kano reached into his pocket and pulled out his notepad. This was Kano's... I ain't saying that.
Dick diary. Made with real foreskins.
This is Kano's dick diary, which he always kept close at hand. Sasayama rolled his eyes.
Oh, this thing reeks!
You're playing with your dick diary again, yeah. That thing again? Kano flipping through the notepad pages. He writes like a 4-year-old. Aha, here it is. Right in crayon. Dick Dictum 89. The more irrelevant something seems, the more relevant it's bound to be.
Does he mean like dick as in like detective?
Yeah, detective.
I thought he meant like how many chicks he's banged.
No. It was a favorite saying of Kyuzo Tateno, an assistant inspector from Shibuya precinct. Tateno was the kind of detective Kano inspired to be. For the current operation, he'd been placed in charge of Hitomi's personal safety. He was in a position to defend her as soon as the ransom had been handed off.
Your dick diary is so thick.
Of course, Hitomi was informed of how much protection she was under. There was a risk that if she acted too secure, it might alert the kidnapper. I think Tateno has the right idea. Sasayama snorted quietly. Maybe. I mean, he's a great detective. Don't get me wrong.
I'm more into the role-playing aspect. You know, I've covered myself in garbage juice for this.
Do you know how many irrelevant things there are to consider? Again, Kano ignored him. It didn't matter if nobody else understood.
Nobody gets me, alright?
As both a detective and an individual. He had first witnessed Tateno's brilliance during a standoff in a financial company 3 years earlier. We're gonna go 2 flashbacks deep. A man had shut himself in an office, splashing gasoline everywhere and threatening to set the place ablaze. While the others hesitated, Tateno unflinchingly doused himself with gasoline and strode into the building, where he managed to walk the man down and secure the scene. I told you, we're going 2 flashbacks deep.
What are you gonna do? I'm covered in gasoline too!
That gasoline fights gasoline, you can't beat me. The others had been awestruck by Tateno's actions, and Kano, who at the time had been content to be a run-of-the-mill policeman, had found it quite inspiring.
Some say he still smells like gasoline to this day.
Still, you know. Sasayama murmured under his breath. As great a detective as Tateno is, it's not like anyone else in the world has ever heard of him. I suppose not, Kano said. So? Only time I ever hear a cop's name is if he's caught up in some scandal or killed in the line of duty.
Yo, did you steal a Chief's banana?
I mean, doesn't really seem fair, does it?
Yo, he was saving that banana.
Kano just shrugged. It was a strange definition of unfair, really.
You're gonna get in so much trouble.
I mean, you've got the celebrity chefs and the celebrity hairdressers and stuff, so how come no celebrity gumshoes, you know? What do they think about the Dick Diary? I want to hear let's read some comments about the Dick Diary.
Of course it's thick and black.
I wish you wouldn't have read that one. There's no other ones? Come on, guys. I want you to
can hear how fucking sick Jonathan is of reading this.
How sick I am of reading it. Yeah. I want to get into the game. Look, please, can you just focus on what we're doing here? Kano rubbed his eyes, then turned his attention back to Hitomi. She was gone. What's the matter? Didn't sleep?
We've been here for hours.
50 cops somehow all looked away at the same time.
Suddenly it was night.
Not enough, I guess. Did you eat? Didn't have time.
I stole the Chief's banana.
Between bringing in supplies for the base of operations and renting the team's vehicles, photocopying hundreds of documents, dry cleaning my clothes, had to comb my hair.
You know, I had to find the right garbage juice. If I smelled like the wrong garbage juice, it would have tipped the guy off.
That's not garbage.
That's Nakatomi garbage.
Kano had barely slept the previous night and hadn't gotten a meal in either. What have you been doing? Sasayama puffed his chest. Saving up my energy for today. So you were sleeping. Kano gave a wry chuckle at his partner's lack of shame. There he is! Kuze's voice chirped suddenly through Kano's earpiece.
It's the menu boy again.
A man in his 20s wearing a sleeveless red jacket. He's carrying a garbage bag. Oh, that's definitely him. A young man had emerged from the crowd about 15 feet from where Hitomi was standing. He strode towards her, a sinister look on his face. He didn't match Hitomi's description, but Kano felt a jolt of nerves all the same. Maybe the kidnapper had hired some young street punk to snatch a random payment. That our guy? What do you think, Kano? Sasayama whispered. Yeah, I think he's gotta be. This was it. Kano swallowed the lump in his throat. He bent his knees, ready to act fast. Blood rushed to his leg muscles,
trachea.
banishing the stiffness that he had begun to take hold. Could this be the culprit? Or perhaps... The young man tried to snatch the briefcase from Hitomi, but she clung to it with desperate strength. It was him! The detectives rushed in.
They got good job.
We got him, boys. Cuff him, Dano. Hey, what the hell? The young man cried out frantically as he tried to dart away, but the officers closed in, forcing him bodily to the ground. Target secured. Oh, geez. I think we've got another suspect on the scene. Eek! He's taking the ransom. Kuze's hysterics made Kano spin around. Sure enough, a foreign-looking man was sprinting away, attaché case in hand. The mob of detectives scrambled to pursue.
Sup, Val? How's it going?
Before Kano could react, most of them had run off, leaving him to look after the suspect.
The original suspect.
I want to chase. What should I do with the guy, sir? He might have some connection with the kidnapper. Should I bring him in? Huh. Oh, sure, that'd be swell. I'm on it.
Chief says to get you some McDonald's.
With the help of one of the remaining detectives, Kano brought the suspect back to the Shibuya precinct. I think this is a book.
I mean, it says that there's gonna be, like, impact.
I heard there's like 50 endings.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Look how many times do we have to go through this? Cut the crap. In the interrogation room, the young man who gave his name as Achi Endo steadfastly insisted on his innocence. Why did you try to steal the case? Kano watched Achi's face intently. Like I said, it looked heavy, so I was just trying to help her out.
Oh, no one... Fuck that. That's a terrible excuse.
It wasn't inconceivable that a young guy would want to help a pretty girl, but...
By yanking out her possessions from her hands?
Yeah. But Hitomi had just been standing there, hardly in desperate need of assistance. She hadn't set the case down, so I figured there had to be something important inside. An entry from Kano's Dick diary shot through his mind. Dick Dictum 25. When the tongue slips, grab it and yank out the truth. Classic advice for a questioning. Something important, you say, such as, how the heck would I know? Ashi spat. He huffed and slumped back in his chair. The standard textbook back and forth had been going on for nearly an hour. Kano didn't mind. Chasing down criminals was all well and good, but questioning suspects was another key part of the job. Plenty of off-the-scene work went into cracking a case. Once again, he had Achi explain what he'd been doing, starting from the beginning. When Kano finally emerged from the interrogation room for a short break, he learned that there had been some progress on the case in the crime scene. What the police hadn't been able to determine yet was whether or not Maria was safe. Fighting back his anxiety, Kano consulted his Dick diary. Again. Dick Dictum 54. Haste makes waste.
That's just a regular saying.
Yeah. He felt the tension subside. Remembering the right maxim always helped. It was like casting a magic spell. Kano returned to confront Achi once more. You were there to act as a distraction, to mess up the investigation, weren't you? Huh? Achi looked a bit dumbfounded. What are you going on about? Dick Dictum 55. The truth hungers to be free. You hungry? Got some katsudan if you'd like. Katsudan is a Japanese dish consisting of a bowl of white rice topped with breaded pork cutlets and egg.
That doesn't sound bad.
No. Not typically the sort of thing a policeman offers a suspect during an interrogation. This can be seen as baiting with food and is to be avoided. Achi nodded silently. Ooh, that looks good. Achi devoured the bowl of katsudan with gusto.
Yeah, it's like veal parmesan, something like that.
I don't know. He looked like he hadn't eaten in a while. Alright, then spill it. What's the guy after? Achi just shrugged. I don't know, he murmured, a thick slice of egg-laid pork between his teeth. How many accomplices do you have? Kano asked, but Achi just shook his head as he inhaled his food. Resignedly, Kano flipped through his notebook once more. Dick Dictum 155. Let's see, number 155. Use the lights to your advantage. As the minutes ticked past, he found himself referring to his book again and again, trying a dozen different methods to tease out whatever the suspects might be hiding. The experience began to feel strangely surreal, their two voices echoing hollowly in the interrogation room. Eventually, Kano looked at the clock and realized that the questioning had been going on for nearly 5 hours. He still hadn't made any headway. It feels like I've been playing this game for 5 hours. What was he supposed to do next? Tatano would know, but he should...
But he sure didn't.
Yeah, thank you. Still, he was determined to do whatever he could do to keep the victim and her family safe. Gritting his teeth in frustration, he pursued the Dick diary like it was scripture. Number 116. The monotonous questioning was clearly tiring Achi out. His eyelids drooped like they were beginning to get heavy. Number 117. Get them when they're tired. Kana's eyes gleamed. You're part of some criminal gang, huh?
You just got that one? Yeah, same.
Hachi's head slumped forward heavily. Nodding off was basically the same as nodding yes, right?
I did it!
Kuze, I did it. The young guy we grabbed at the handoff site, he finally confessed to the crime. This sounds illegal. What are you talking about? Kuze laughed in disbelief. We're just about to apprehend the mastermind here. Huh? Kana clutched his cell phone, dumbstruck. Listen, why don't you, look, just wait there at HQ. No, it can't be. He's gonna kill himself. After the kidnapping case wrapped up, Kana tendered his resignation.
What are we doing?
Guess I'm not cut out to be a detective after all, he thought to himself. He dropped the dick diary on his desk and left Shibuya Precinct for the last time.
Is this a game? You didn't...
I didn't do anything!
Kana wound up at bad end. You know what? I'm gonna end up on the bad end of a noose!
I didn't do anything wrong. Oh, okay. One of the other protagonists, Achi Endo, has an impact on Kana's fate here. You can avoid a bad end by making the proper decisions in another character's story. For a detailed hint, check the tip by underlining the bad end and press circle. Then X. Kano had every reason to suspect Achi Endo, but arresting him turned out to be a mistake. If Achi hadn't approached Hitomi, this wouldn't have happened. Try playing Achi's story for up to 10:30 and make a choice that keeps him from going up to her. If you do that, Kano won't even have a chance to arrest him. So we're gonna time travel? Guys, I think this is a book. I thought this was gonna be like a live action game.
Well, that was our let's look at. Are you disappointed in this game?
I thought it was gonna be closer to...
Why didn't you do any research at all?
Because I just wanted to play a game with friends.
Well, guess what, Jonathan? You failed at even that. You wanted to play a game with friends. Two problems with that. One, you don't have any friends. Two, this isn't a fucking game.
I'm gonna play this game. But you know what? Okay. I'm gonna stop right now. We're gonna be back in 5 minutes and we're gonna play some fucking Mega Man. We'll be right back.
How do I end the stream?
How do I end the stream? It's been too long. I took a screenshot.
Dude! End the stream.